What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's see. We're live, baby. We're freaking live, finally. Took long enough. Took long enough, freaking enough. Seems. Hi there. What's up? Glacier Shark. Woo! Hey, Glacier, what do you think of this rig? A triple length shark rig. This this rig that I'm holding right here, that goes to my chest. This is a 15-foot leader, but you can cast it as no more than 5 foot. And I've even found a way to make a 20-foot version, but I still need confirmation from Sturgeon to finish it up anyway. But today we're actually not doing so much shark rigs as we are maybe some more leaders for some big eels, some big conger eel leaders like this. I do have circle hooks too for them, but the thing is, in the Mediterranean where I'll be fishing, you have moray eels too, and they're a lot smaller. Well, not that much smaller, but they are smaller. So, and you want to catch the small ones too, not just the big ones, because the smaller morays, they're delicious. With the conger eels, you only really want the bigger ones, but yeah. I'll probably be fishing more J hooks. Also on J hooks, there you have a good chance of accidentally catching an octopus, which are delicious too, you know. So there we can catch octopus and moray eels that we don't really catch when we're using circle hooks. You only really catch octopus and the morays, especially the smaller morays, when you use J hooks that are a bit smaller versus larger circle hooks. Far north, different story, different story. In waters where congers are, and then some sharks maybe are the only thing that I'm gonna catch on these rigs. But if I have moray eels and octopus and stuff, I'm new to the stream. Hi there, Samantha Miller. Well, this is a fishing channel. Some more rigs. This is a circle hook still. I don't know if I'll actually be using this one or not. We'll see. We'll see. Welcome in. Never seen somebody actually read my name. Of course, Samantha. No worries. Hi, Gray 0317. Not sure what you're saying. Yeah, one more of our special rigs. It's getting a bit warm in here. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. Nah, but serious. I have no idea how it's going to be at the Mediterranean this time of year. Thanks. Because I've actually never been there. I've only been there during the summer. Have I been to the Mediterranean in winter? Well, kind of, yeah. In October, okay, but that was completely different part of the Med, so never been to that part of the Med this time of year, so it will be interesting. Anyway. This is a rod that will definitely be coming along. Do you have any cool fishing hooks like Meow Chrome, Neon Chrome? I'm not sure what you mean with neon chrome. I do have some glow in the dark hooks, but it's not dark in here. So I mean, there's this. Give me a second. This is attached to it. Why did I do this? Well, I can untangle this in a minute. We do have hooks. This is the biggest hook I have. It looks rainbow. Okay, Gray, how about you decide? You literally can fold around your arm without even piercing anything. I'm using YouTube. It's just YouTube. YouTube mobile app. Well, I'm also live on my other channel using OBS, but just YouTube. YouTube mobile. Totally. That's often bigger than your arm. Yeah, but honestly, they bend easier than the smaller hooks because the leverage is it, and these thick hooks they have a hard time penetrating properly, so they can actually straighten easier. Can you tell me how you? Yes, on my phone. So anything past like 20 hook size, something like that, generally doesn't make sense. I also like on my other fishing channel. You can use OBS, but you just go to where you post a video, and then you should find the option. Why do I have no feeling you're pushing me? Anyway, let's be nice. Yeah, we'll pack this rod up. This is definitely gonna one that's coming along for the trip. What glacier? Oh, you're talking about her? I cannot show you because I'm using my phone to stream right now. You have the button in the middle, you press on it, it has the option short, live, post, video, you click on live, and then you go live. Not rocket science. It's the X button at the bottom. Yeah. For mobile, you can go live from a notebook with 0 subscribers. but you'll still have to crack going live and verify your phone number. Julia. Here's one of my more finesse rigs, by the way. Thanks. Thank you. And as you can see, this is very subtle, soft cable. It doesn't kink easily. This is metal. This is cable leader, but it's 133 strand cable. And this is only 1 millimeter strength. So this is thickness, sorry, that's what in pounds, that's like 70 kilos. So, gosh, how much will this hold? It's like 150 pounds, 150 pound cable. 150 pound cable leader. To catch those eels. But still pretty fit, relatively thin and soft. You don't need coated leaders for those. Like, I find coated cable, honestly, if anything, it performs worse, not better. Hello, Lila. Lila. Hello. Say hello to the stream. Come on. If you came in. Say hello, Katie. Yes, she'll be coming fishing. No, stop with your claws. No claws, baby. No claws, please. Hey, coffee. Monday, probably. Yep, my little fishing buddy. We'll see. There's a good chance I'll stream tomorrow, yes. But it's also... Okay, Lila. You want down? Or you just want to be picked up in a different way? Let me try that. You used to like this. Hmm? She seems to be... Lila. Relax. Okay, we've got stuff to do anyway. But yeah, I'll be fishing the Mediterranean next week, so upside down cat, yeah. Oh, yeah. This wrong question. If I'll take it as is, or I might actually not. I'll have to think about this one. But yeah. Lila? Don't you jump on my notebook and mess up my settings. I still don't know what you did last time. Anyone with a cat will understand. They have a talent of changing settings on your devices you never know you even had. Like, she's literally walked over my keyboard and pressed buttons and activated something that I had no clue what it was and didn't know how to fix it, and it happened more times than I want to admit. But yeah, here's half of my heavy duty cast up shark rig. with the six. Like this is the biggest hook that makes sense normally, because this is a hook that's still gonna penetrate properly, and it'll hold. It'll hold, and it honestly any shark you want to catch, it'll hook. Because the thing is, any shark where you would need a larger hook than this, we're talking like fish over 15 foot. And those are fish that can spool a 130 size reel. So yeah. This is for any shark like 8 feet and up. Like, it makes sense. Obviously, you can catch smaller fish on it, but you know, like bull sharks, hammerheads, tigers, great whites. Like this 6 gill and 7 gill sharks, this is a leader. Legitimately, you can catch a great white on, no problem. A castable leader for a great white. Because yes, you can cast even 130 size reels. You can definitely cast 80 whites. And you can easily cast 50 whites. I just want to make sure, because I would honestly prefer to do cable on this rig, but I think Sturgeon said mono, so I want him to give me his definite feedback before I add the rubbing section, because this is already a 2-part leader, but it's going to be a 3-part leader. One section being like 9 foot or so of straight mono or cable. Then we have a jointed section of very heavy cable and a bit lighter cable. John Cena, what's up, John? What's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. How are you? So yeah. Okay, see you tomorrow, Samantha. And yeah, like I said, these sized hooks, yeah. Now, if you're gonna use any hook larger than a 20-0 circle hook or 16-0 mustard slash BKK size, you have to set hook at very high drag pressure. Like it sounds counterintuitive, but if you use like a 20, 22, 24, 26, 28 circle hook, you'll actually have to set hook at like 50 to 70 pounds of drag. If you don't use enough drag setting hook, you'll bend the hook out. The hook will straighten if you don't use enough drag, because you need that much drag for the hook to penetrate. Otherwise, you'll get a tip hook up versus like instead of I'll show you what I mean. I'm all right, Sean. Like basically, you'll get only the tip penetrated, and that now we have a lot of leverage for the hook to be bent open, even by smaller fish. But you need just to penetrate for the tension to be in here. Now you're not gonna straighten this hook. Now you're gonna be fine. But if you're hooked up like this, you're in trouble. And those larger hooks, they just require so much tension to penetrate properly. That is a big reason why, for most shark fishing, you don't want a giant hook, because you'll need to use 70 pounds of drag to just set the hook. And you also need a fish pulling that to get the hook set properly. Or a smaller fish that doesn't take enough drag in the beginning might just get hooked badly and then bend your hook out. It sounds weird, but yeah, so. All in all, you're more likely to run into issues if you go past that 20 size class. Well, shark leaders are not nothing for cats to play with. Here's another one. This is just a bite section. just the bite section that we can use for all kinds of different leaders. I want to catch salmon shark here. What I recommend for salmon shark would be a leader in this style. But you probably, okay, if you have the money, get the BKK monster circle hooks. If not, get catch all tackle called 20 O's or mustard inline 20 O circle hooks. And 3 millimeter 49 strand or 2.5 millimeter 19 strand cable. And I can DM you what's the most effective way to attach this kind of cable. I'm not sure if I want to make my secrets public completely. I've done it on live before, but I've not completely explained how I do it, and I've changed a couple things on how to get the best hookup ratio. I mean, you can't just crimp it and you might just lose. You'll probably catch 30% more fish if you do it like this, but if you get enough bites, it might not matter for you. If getting bites isn't an issue, you don't have to worry about this stuff. If getting bites is an issue, you do have to worry about it. Also, advantage of this attachment is the hook won't double back into the bait because it's fixed to the leader. It's not, it's not a moving connection like a crimp would be. I also have a reel to spool, at least one. Here we have a little stick baby. Or, yeah, it is a stick baby. And we probably should take, because this would be nice for a sea bass or barracuda. Smoked salmon shark. That does sound good, smoked salmon shark. It actually sounds good. And they're listed as least concern species-wise. So salmon shark population is good. So if you're allowed to harvest one, I would definitely give it a try. Just you probably notice, right? You need to immediately bleed and gut your sharks. Any shark, bleed them, gut them, core them out, put them on ice as fast as possible. Otherwise, they'll start leaking the ammonia, and then you get the weird taste. But yeah, you want to get them cored out and on ice quickly. Then you'll have delicious meat. And that's really why people don't like shark, because they don't know how to prepare it correctly. As with anything else, really, isn't it? Like, any fish that people say is trash, I haven't found a single fish that is objectively bad. Like, you can make pretty much any fish into something pretty tasty, if you just know how. Where's the spool of wire? Where did it fall? Here. Here's my stainless steel wire. This is IC316 marine grade stainless steel. There are higher quality stainless steels, but they're almost impossible to find. And you might find wire made from higher grade stainless steel, but that's no good because you don't find cable made from higher grade stainless steel. So the 316 really is the stainless to go, because it's a most corrosion resistant that you can actually get realistically. So yeah, that's why I'm using it. Lila. As long as they're not playing with folks, I guess it's fine. Hmm? What do you have to say for yourself? What do you have to say for yourself? Yes, Lila. Hmm? Let's see how you will be fishing for some big fish. I mean, you've been with me when I've caught fish bigger than you, but I think so, yeah. You've never caught some really big fish. Yeah. Okay. So, anyone got any questions? This will be like one of my. This will be my heavy spin casting rod. 20K Saltiga, heavy popping rod. Good stuff. Good stuff. Lila, what are you doing, cat? Why do you have to be so mischievous? Hmm? And I will probably sell this reel after the trip, so I'll do my best to take good care of it. Melancholia. Crazy cat. You're cute, but you're crazy. Lila 9. Hmm? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, honestly. Okay, let's actually get some shit done. So let's. Hmm. Yeah. Stop messing with stuff you shouldn't be messing with. Hey Jamie, prepping for the Mediterranean Sea. Kelly really like fishing. If you were here, I'd take you out on my boat. Yeah, that would be cool. Well, I live for a very special person, but yeah, fishing has still saved my life a few times. But anyway, so this is stuff in here that's coming with us. I also had someone kind of uh, someone stayed over, so everything had to get cleaned up really quick, basically. So now it's a big old mess. For me, worse than it was before. Okay, some great. So far, my experience with the tight line braid has been mixed. I'm not loving it, but at least in the bigger sizes, it might not be as bad as I initially thought it was. We gotta get you here to go out with Devin. Who's Devin? Or Glacier Shark? Are you Devin? I mean, he's in Alaska, so he's not exactly where you are, Jamie, but it is with aluminum wire. Well, I don't need this spool of this is cable, but I wouldn't need a spool either this trip. Yes, okay. Well, Alaska and it is a long way, you know. It's only a 9-hour drive to where I'm going to the Mediterranean, and you can get to the Mediterranean in 5 to 6 hours, just different part of the Mediterranean. So there's that, you know. Why, Jimmy? But of course, sooner or later I'll be doing all kinds of traveling. It's more a question of when than if. If I live long enough, that is. Wait, why was that in there? Holy crap. Uh, it's nice when people help you to clean shit up, but if they throw stuff together that has no business being together, I don't know. Let me refresh chat just in case. Yeah, here's a rig that I built a while ago. This would be for a live bait. Nah, I'm not gonna be needing this thing. But this is a pure live bait rig. It's nice, but yeah. Pure live bait rig. So I think I made this rig to use a live dogfish as bait. Oh, that's because I fell down. That's what it's there on the ground. Some more rigs here. This is a good one. Good rig. Another good rig. I mean, I'm gonna shut. That's fine. This is one though that I can probably already take apart again, because yeah. Here's where I tried something I kind of knew it wouldn't work right. Because this is 2mm cable on a 10-0 circle hook. It's just too heavy, the cable. Just too heavy for this size hook. So, yeah. But that's stuff to experiment with a different time. What, Jemmy? Not all cables are used for dirty stuff. Get your mind out of the gutter. No, but what were you thinking? What were you thinking, Jemmy? Here's our 600-pound mono. That's a lot of cable. Oh. I want to see what's a lot of cable. How about all this cable, Jemmy? And I have more and heavier cable in the basement. Anyway. Okay, if you're still spamming, bye. Actually, that's not the most important thing right now, but I take some of that aluminum wire I put away a minute ago. I can also just use some of the stainless wire. Inoxidable. And yes, we're twisting the wire, Jeremy. Okay, this cable is now bunched together. Wait, that's actually my 2.5 millimeter cable. That's not even the heaviest. I have quite a bit heavier cable still. Nice. Anyway, basement. Yes, Jeremy. We have lots of heavy cable and even chain, more chain in the basement. Anyway, yes. Anyway. Where is everything? Okay. These two rods are definitely coming with me. They're coming to the Mediterranean. So this rod, I might change something on the reel, but that just gets the big stuff. Yes, big stuff, Jenny. That gets the big stuff out of here. Just put the reel back on the rod real quick. So we can get all of this stuff out of the way here. That will definitely make it easier to work. Nyla. Why are you being a naughty girl? Yes, you are. Jimmy? Some hairy pussy for you? No. You're the one crawling around in all my fishing stuff. Hi, Samantha. You're back. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to get a bit tired. But yeah. My cat is definitely not getting tired. But she's leaving. Like leaving the room. One second, I'll do a quick bathroom break. I'll be right back. Lila, really? Oh, Lila. You can't go out now. She's on Gemini time. Might be, Yep, there's a cat. She can do whatever. If you're talking about Samantha, sure. If you're talking about Lila, not so much. Nope. Question will be, okay, this is stuff that stays here. Oh. Cleaning up stuff. Don't you know who you are? I can see some floor. Lila? Are we gonna show it? Gemini, who about the box? You're just a. If he doesn't behave, if he acts like a baby, she can be treated like a baby. Your face is too cute, Lila. But I make the rules. Lila, now stop, stop, stop. Good. Good girl. See? 9, 9. Lila, stop. Lila. Good girl. Do you need more proof? That's why still she starts acting up again. Lila, 9. 9. 9. 9. Good girl. Can you hear her purring? Love you, baby. Give me a kiss. No, 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 no. No. You can get another treat, but give me a kiss first. Lila. Okay, this works better if she's sitting down. Yep. It doesn't work with the camera. 9. 9. Did you see? Nein, leider. Yes. Okay. No. Mm-mm. No. No, Lila, don't. Okay. Let's start with the cat. 9. You are too fun to mess with, Lila. It's been a minute since I've got called a good girl. Anyway. These are coming along. So are these staying home. This lure is specifically for European catfish. This is a good, nice pike lure. It's kind of long. Right, for some barracuda fishing. You don't need to empty this whole thing out, not yet. Yeah. I'll have to go over this again, but for now, as it is, this can stay in here. It's gonna save us a lot of time and energy. Hi there. What's drag fishing like? No, it's like locked up drag fishing, like fishing with a closed drag, high drag on your fishing reel. Of course, right now I just put all my fishing rods away, but yeah. Here's one of my piranha rigs. I've caught some piranhas on that when I was in South America. Nice. Honestly though, I can cut it up and trash it. Alrighty, let's see. Now we'll do that differently. Anyway, this hook will be used for one of our shark rigs. The clip actually. Anyway, YouTube is definitely sending some new people my way, which is good, but you also get some people to do without. But oh well. Are you still down there, Lila? Oh. Might be. I'm not sure. But you're being a good girl now. You're being quiet, so there's that. Now one of our shark rigs that should not be there. That's already all neatly packaged and ready to ship. And stuff changed anyway. It's what it is. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks. Yeah. Thing is, I'm also tired, but I know I need to get stuff done, and I know. Yeah. Part of me just wants to go to bed. Somewhat large part, maybe. Now, even if I go to bed, I wouldn't be able to sleep. So, what's the point? Go to sleep? No, I can't. That's a problem. I won't get it. I won't get to it. That's not how my body works, unfortunately. Or at least not my mind. It took me a good hour to get started here, for example. Hey, at least I'm getting bigger. Go to no. What, Gemini? What? What is your messed up mind thinking of now? love you, Jenny. I love you. Seriously though, what are you thinking of? Do I know that's something on your mind? Here's some proper cable. Hmm. And obviously all the shark stuff can stay home. All the specific shark stuff anyway. Yes, proper. Proper what? Proper what, Jimmy? A proper pounding? Proper pipe cleaning? Playing the clarinet? Or the flute? Can't breathe. Oh, so you need some mouth to mouth. Do you have any preferences? Was there anyone out of the guys you like particularly? And hey, maybe you could get the mouth to mouth and the pounding as a 2-for-1 deal. Who knows? Who knows? What? Did I say something wrong? And some good chest compressions? Wofer. Okay. Sorry. Okay, that means too far. I'm sorry. Or you mean 2-for-1? 2-for-1. Okay. Well, who knows? They do deals on all kinds of things these days, you know? Well, I'm glad I made you laugh. Likewise. No. Mm. Honestly, it's a good thing that I'm getting tired. I just have to know when to end it, and that's what I'm not so good at. But oh well. It will be about a shark rig for a different day. And Herkenhoff Sturgeon isn't here, so no point in finishing up his one final rig. And he won't be able to pay till the 10th anyways, so. No, probably shouldn't have said it. Oh, actually, he said it on live, so that's fine, yeah. Just, he had uh, an unexpectedly high car payment, which is why he had to postpone buying the leaders a bit. But yeah. Anyway, what time is it? Did I just hook myself? I did. But it's not bad. This is a rig I could give to my dad. It's not one that I'll use myself probably ever, so. Okay. Not as late as I thought it would be. Not early either, though. Yes, I'm using heat shrink, Jimmy. I know you're more used to stuff that shrinks when it gets cold versus when it gets hot. But oh well. John! What up? Waiting for 11th April Saturday to go for Charlotte Nights. That should be when we'll finishing the order for her surgeon or all that week after maybe. The week after the order should be going out. Anywho. Striped bass on the coast are starting but can't get there yet, okay. Yeah. I mean, there's a good chance I'll be catching some of, or at least a decent chance of our equivalent to stripers. You know, the European sea bass, labrans, or whatever, which is in the same family at least as striped bass. But yeah, they don't go into true freshwater here. Into like low salinity brackish water, yes, but you don't really get them normally in pure freshwater. And they also don't go as far north. Actually, I guess they kind of do, but well, but they're not common in northern waters like stripers are basically. Like stripers are more common in colder waters colder than what our sea bass are common in. Let's put it that way. I think the maximum ranges latitude-wise are similar, but the bulk of the population is definitely further north for striped bass. Melancholia, sweet melancholia. Yeah, soon it'll be time for a nap. This should be our 1.5 millimeter model. Yeah. Or we'll see. Anyway, Anything with hooks goes through here. Okay, quick bathroom break, and I think we'll do it. Then and on the next bathroom break or so, I'll end the live. Yeah, for maybe another half hour or so. Okey-doke. I'm back, bitches. Still here, had a phone call. Sorry, go to sleep. You don't want to miss Yogi. If anything, I'll still be awake when Yogi goes live. If I do sleep, I'm gonna miss him for sure. No question. If I sleep before he goes live, I'm not gonna wake up and feel awake enough to check him out before, so yeah. What, Gemini? What? When did my boobs get so big that they just stick out? When did that shit happen? Anyway, just you. Here, Jemmy. I've got myself a little halo. I'm innocent. Exactly. And there it goes. Oh, yeah. Anyway. exactly. Where's Lucifer and Satan when you need them? Where are my bros? Luca, Sega, does Eve have you tied to the bed again, or why aren't you here? By the way, Gemini, were you by any chance lurking in Cindy's live where the whole cactus discussion came up the other day with Luca and some others? So I know you have a tendency, you might not be chatting, but you might still be there. Were you there to witness all of that or not? Highway to hell! Okay, so you're burned. Too bad, too bad. You missed something, you missed something. My channel isn't. We're open-minded here, but it might be a bit much to discuss on my channel. I try to keep it a bit cleaner than bad. Usually. Anyway, here's a bunch of 2mm cable. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I never said to keep it clean here, but a bit cleaner than that. Important distinction, Ken. Very important distinction. Let's make a couple liters. $66 wings and morning. Look in my eyes to learn how to stay out there. Okay. First, how you're catching. What is very important? What difference? Some differences are important, others not so much. Okay, one crimp. You already got our eye on here. Cinching it down a bit further, but not too far. You don't want to unnecessarily kink our leader. Yes, we're getting kinky, Gemini. Actually, we're getting not too kinky. You want to get it tight and in position so it stays there, but you don't want to kink it too far. There is a yes, Gemini, there is such a thing as too kinky, believe it or not. All right. Just gonna crimp this copper crimp down. I've actually already cut this leader. Not too long, well, not too short. Like me. Now we're twisting it. And there my one crimp went. Oh, there was a twisting. I used to go overboard and twist too far. We don't need that. Insertion successful. The second crimp is an aluminum crimp instead of copper, because aluminum will act as a sacrificial anode in salt water. Meaning if we have any corrosion, that corrosion will occur on the aluminum and not on our main leader or our main copper crimp. Basically, it's a security that corrosion won't be an issue. Beautiful. Not a clue. Oh, Lila, what are you doing here? You heard about us getting kinky and now my hairy pussy has to show up. Hey, baby. Meow. You want down? Okay. Let's make a handful of these leaders. Like 3 maybe. 3, 4, something like that. And you're gonna equip them with different size hooks. But they all get one of those ball bearing swivels. One aluminum, one copper crimp. That's our eye. Again, we You don't want to go too far. You don't want to get too kinky. You also don't want it unnecessarily big. If it's the same size or slightly smaller than the eye of the swivel, then you're good. Because any smaller than that, it's not going to have cinching it down any further won't have any benefit, but it could have potential downsides. So yeah. Okay, let's leave it like this. And finish them off later. This is where serious production comes in. We're basically building leaders in series now. Through twice and through twice. Cinch down far enough. One copper per double barrel crimp. Yes. And that's a good leader length. Okay. I feel like it's a good one. It's good. If I feel like it's good, it's good. It doesn't really matter all that much for the style of fishing related. So one advantage of making them a bit longer is that if you have to exchange the hook, you can still reuse them. But if they get too long, you also are more likely to get tangles, have a harder time casting, and so on and so on. So you just have to see. This will be a long one. Okay, that will be your last leader for now. None of these have hooks so far. That'll be your next. Will be the next separate step. Actually, next step for now will be to do the second crimp. But after that. Okay. Crimp done. And cut. Now we've got think 4 of these leaders. Yep. 4 of these, but they still all have loose tag ends. How are you not monetized with all your watch hours? Seems like you should be. I don't have that many, and I don't have enough subs. I do not have enough subs to be monetized. So, okay, we need 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get our aluminum 1mm sleeve on here. Let's twist the cable. Again, don't twist too aggressively. Still twist it a bit so it opens up but doesn't open up too much. Insertion almost successful. But just one little tip that didn't go in properly. Okay, we need to cut this tag end, or it's never going to go in. Right. Insertion almost successful, one tip not in properly. Exactly right, Jamie. You've clearly been listening. It's a bit trickier because I'm making sure it's a tight fit, you know. I love how I'm clearly talking about fishing stuff. But also know that's not what you're hearing. Perfect. Yes, very tricky for tight fit. I know, right? If you have a loose fit, it's no problem getting it in, but it's unnecessarily large and doesn't surround it as it doesn't get as tight of a seal, and it's just more unnecessary space. Oh, I love you, Jimmy. I love you, Jimmy. Way too many. I'm talking about fishing. What are you thinking about, Jemmy? Seriously. Get it together, girl. Or should I say beautiful? All right. 2 left. To insert, we need to insert at least, we need to have at least 2 more successful insertions. Oh, never mind. This is already done. This insertion was already successful. Nice. But this, okay, then you still have 2 to go. Well, what kind of fishing are you thinking about, Jamie? Insertion successful. And crimp down for a tight fit. Makes a tight fit even tighter. Yo! Whoa, 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 whoa! Who's in the house? Hurton for Sturgeon. Nice, man. Well, maybe then we can get to finishing up your leaders completely. Because next week I won't be home, but on the weekend I'll be home again, so no worries about that. Just, if I have all your leaders done, I can get the shark stuff out of the way and won't have to worry about it anymore. Insertion not yet successful. No. Unsuccessful insertion, Gemini. Unsuccessful insertion. So, I might hear that in my sleep. Oh, nice. First insertion point successful. It doesn't want to go in. It's getting worse. Insertion not completely. What? Did I say something wrong? Okay. Might just have to twist. I think we'll have to skip the twisting on this one. Just getting too short. For tag end, yeah. One rig with no twisting in the on the end. So you can get a successful insertion. Just like this. Okay. Not terrible. Not terrible. Anyway, hurting for sturgeon. Are you there, brother? Beautiful. Yes, beautiful. It's beautiful. Because we still need to add for this rig. We still need to add the second part, like the rubbing section. The thing is just this is gonna be sleepy, about to make some coffee and try to wake up a bit. Okay, then I'll just make some conger rigs till you're a bit more awake. No hurries, no hurries now. I've got time. Alright, this is the way how to do it for the big rigs. Why am I not doing this on the little ones? Because it's annoying. But I might do it in the future. And these, for example, these are some really small hooks. You need some specials. These would never work on the heavier cable. The two of these two O's and two of the four O's. Once I find them. But for now, let's start with these smallest hooks. Honestly, we don't need anything covering this end. Let's skip the string tube or let's do it, I don't know, whatever. Shouldn't really matter. with something. I probably can't go live with you tonight because I fell asleep. I wake her up since she don't sleep very well. Yeah, my girl has sleep issues too. I was just thinking, like maybe, but tell me that's wrong. Once you're, what was I gonna say? Like once you're a bit more awake, like in a few, I don't know, in 20, 15 minutes or whenever, if that would be a better time to discuss the final leader. If you can at the moment, that's also fine. Don't worry about it. Okay. Yeah. Melancholia. Where do we have all those crates? Are they still in here or in the other thing? Okay, I must see the other container. Yep, here they are. There's one that already found its way out. I'm washing head. I'm wearing headphones so my phone don't wake her up. Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah. I can definitely relate to that. And kudos to you, Sturgeon, by the way. Kudos to you. Well, basically, the thing is, a mono rubbing section will get pretty bulky. If you say you don't care, I'll do it. But I've just looked at it and found that, yeah, it's gonna get really, really big. Because we have in total we have the leader is sectioned into 4 different parts already. That's a lot, you know. So I just don't know how well it's gonna cast with some. That's where. But if you say you definitely want mono and you don't care if it's gonna cast not as far, then I'll do it with mono. All right, this is ready. This we get set up. You can run that rubbing section to the cable if you like. Okay. Well, okay. If I find my cable now, well, yeah, that's the cable that I coded for that purpose. Let's give it a shot. Okay, let's do this and then we can, because yeah, it'll just get so bulky. I can, if you want, I can do a cheaper lead, like one of the other leaders with the mono, but yeah, definitely have. But I mean, it's also all coded cable. So we have this. Anyway, here we have our bait clip. I'll get you guys closer in a minute, because this will be interesting. What's coming up next? It's going to be a lot of stuff. Or however you were originally gonna do it. No biggie, bro. Well, originally I wasn't sure. You know, this is an experiment. You have to understand. If I'm coming up with a completely new rig no one has ever used or built before in the entire world, yes, rubbing section, Gemini. It's not something where I can go off any textbook or plan, much of a plan really. I just have to. I just have to go off my own gut and experience and what I see working. So we don't want this to get entangled with our hook. No, 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 no. If we attach it, yeah, we have to attach it to the same eye, or it would be in a precarious position to get potentially snag the hook tip. Okay, good. I know how to attach it now. So here is we're already done bait clip with the hook section. And this top swivel here is actually also has a bait clip. That'll get clipped to a swivel. And yeah, about that. Actually, I want to cover this up, I think. Yeah, because I don't want to prevent exactly that from happening. Okay, piece of some large shrink tube. That'll do the trick. It has to be a ton. It can be. Actually, no, it can't be. There's no point. Absolutely no point. Okay. Maybe I should have went with giving this its own. Actually, no, like this will be a nice package. Yeah. I should shrink this on here. I should have probably just attached this somehow separately. Whatever. It'll be fine. Oh, never mind. It was about this and down here. Almost messed it up. Almost messed it up. Okay, a larger piece would have worked well. Maybe even slightly better, whatever. And cosmetically, this is not going to be the prettiest rig in the world. But it should work very well. Yeah. Yeah. That's better. Ah, right. We still need to attach that second leader line here. Oh, that's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Okay, where do I have my cable? This is some wild shit. This is some wild stuff. It's a wild west out here. What can I say? You need fishing in your title. You get all confused kids. Not next gamer. Maybe I do, Jenny. Maybe I do. You might actually have a point for once. Okay. A rubbing section will be attached. Does it matter at all? It's gonna matter at all. Which? No, because the hook could be facing either way. Or, yeah, it is a swivel. It swivels. Okay. Let's get that crimped down. Actually, let's take the big crimpers. Because that's going to make our life much easier. better, but I know I checked all that chat. Oh, I did not know that, no. How would I know that, Jimmy? You've never mentioned it. No, that's not good enough. Need to redo the twisting. Use more tension. Yep, done. Now comes the interesting part. Building this into a double pulling rig. First, let's get some shrink tube on here. For 3mm do. It better. Again, subscribe. Just as a mod, you should. It's locked up in the rack. Yeah. Maybe I'll add the fishing part back to the name as well. It felt kind of redundant, but it might, maybe it's not. will this give you any chance that the hook catches on this? Not really. Should we That's cool. It needs more spring to bang. We'll still do it. Anyway, here's text you sometime in a week. Yeah. I can, Jimmy, don't worry. Okay, now the magic's gonna happen. Very soon. It's perfectly lang. Okay, I might have overestimated the length I need. Okay. So I have two of my big swivels. I know where I have them, but do I have some more here? I need to go look for them. I don't know. Yeah. Now let's make it easy. I'll just get the ones that I have already connected. Don't ask. It's a complicated process. Two connected swivels. Let's disconnect the one, the other one here. Okay, so sturgeon, now we're gonna attach, or we're gonna do the final measurement of this rig. Because this is a bad thing about this rig, quote unquote bad. You do need to do some pretty exact measurements, or it's not gonna work. It just won't. the best way to do it is to attach to the bait clip to the split ring. Yep. Okay, we actually have plenty of options. Honestly, this might be easier than I thought it would be. Yeah, this just needs to clip onto there or there, somewhere along the way. Now having all these eye protectors is becoming counterproductive. I know what I'm gonna do. I'll just add a random split ring, some cheap no-name stuff. That on there. That swiveled. Then you have a proper anchoring point. Okay. We just need our big swivel to finish it off with, and that big swivel needs to have a clip on its end. Because it doesn't actually have to be a swivel, but it won't hurt. And these swivels are cheap enough. I just need to find one. Okay, here we have a hook. Need to bend open the eye or whatever. Okay. All right. Now where's or should I just take that one? Oh, let's do this one. Done. Let's close this eye back up. we need a random split ring. Could be a bigger one. I have a few small ones here at hand, but we have something a bit bigger. Yes, Gemini, you're looking for something bigger. Okay, this one will do. This one will do. This will do. This will absolutely do. And actually, you could even clip it on down there. I want to make this even a touch longer. Why not? Yeah, let's do that. In this case. This is a part of the rig where we can do some playing around and it doesn't really matter. It won't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't. Won't really matter. It's definitely probably the most complex rig anyone's ever built for shark fishing. At least for real shark fishing. Commercial shark rigs, of course, they're also pretty dang complex. But that's, of course, a different animal altogether. Not really comfortable. That's a joke now. I'll just get back on here. Will we use shrink tube on here? Probably. No, we don't technically need to. Should we just leave this one end bare? Let's just leave this one crimp bare so I can inspect my crimp connection. Actually, yeah, for another reason this might, or might for the same reason not be not so good. We'll see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Final end. Sorry for the whole debacle, but yeah. Getting this leader perfect. I'll show it off in the end. It's a tricky one. But this is the one rig. God, I'm so glad I don't have to do this stuff with mono, because this would be a pain to build, I think. This is like the most advanced casting shark rig in existence. I'm pretty positive on that one. I don't think something like this exists. And I'm not someone who lightly throws around absolutes. Okay. Trim down. Now there's no going back. You're twisting. Is someone calling me? What happened to the sound? No, okay. I just had lost connection for a second. Okay. Okay. Beautifully. I think you would have been nice in hindsight. Ah, whatever. It won't matter. It won't matter. It won't matter. Okay, Sturgeon. The ultimate shark rig. I honestly think you might not love this one just because of how much brain it takes, and it might actually be such a complex rig that it gets annoying to fish. It'll definitely work, but the simpler version might work almost as well, and for your needs might be already enough. Okay, just for show. Why didn't I make it easier myself? Because I don't like easy. Anyway, rig will be our sinker, obviously. But what is this all? Well, it'll probably be easier actually when you have it hooked up to a rod. No joke, it will be. Okay, now some spray line has got messed up with it. Okay. Important first step, it seems like clip your weight. Okay, the weight fell. Okay, this is. I'll go to the bathroom real quick. I need to be focused. Then I think we'll end tonight. Actually, to show you all like here, I think I'll hook it up to a rod real quick. Do I have a rod that's already rigged? Let's just take this one and see where it goes up. This is not the rod and reel you want to be fishing this rig on. A 6K there it goes as a bit on the small side. But yeah. The lighting is already getting shit in here with the daylight. So it's time to end the live after this. I want to demonstrate this rig properly. Oh, there you are, Lila. Why are you being so cute? Okay, my battery is about to die. Yeah, perfect time to finish off the live, I think. My triple pulley rig will definitely be a good one. But hey, Chaos Goat, what up, bro? Okay. So from the rigs, from the swivels that go together here, the one that hangs off the longest, this is the one that you'll want to tie to your main line. that we're talking about, Jimmy? Anyway, okay, we need to drag a bit tighter. Now first, take a little of mono. I'll quickly show you all how I attach the brake line to my sinkers. Take a loop of mono or brake. I use mono or brake line. This is 50, 60 pound mono. Decently heavy duty. We have a loop of mono. This is just cut off on both ends. And now you're just gonna go with the loops through each other, creating a cat's paw with at least 3 turns. You can go 4 or 5. Don't go over 5 or it's gonna be a pain to close, but yeah. This makes the loop knot not have to hold all the tension, and you have a bigger loop of mono on your weight. This will break before your shock leader will, for sure. Okay, so let's loop this on our swivel. The swivel, not the split ring. Should have made this loop even bigger. I thought I was making it too big, but anyway. It's on. Now we have our weight, our sinker. Again, here's a weight coming from a rod. Now next step is going to be obviously hook your hook onto this. And actually that's basically it. Okay, it's easier than I thought it would be. That's basically. Wait. I don't feel like I'm missing something. Oh, because I am. Okay. No. Anyway, you have your hook on your bait clip. Yeah. You'll want to keep this tension on. You probably just keep it in your hand, hanging. Then you'll get the swivel from your main line. You'll be attaching your bait clip to the split ring connecting the 2 swivels that go to your main line. And you'll pull this final swivel that is free, hanging, free floating, whatever you want to call it. It also has a clip, bait clip on the end. Okay, so maybe you need to do this first. Gonna hook this on this split ring that's on the bottom next to where we attached our weight. Yeah, now we've got everything attached, except we still need to reattach this up there. To our split ring. I'll send you some close-up pictures of it in use, Sturgeon. Don't worry. But this is now our finished product. This is our finished product. And this is like a tiny rod. This is a 5-foot rod. And I could still cast this, okay. It is a complicated setup because we have a line condensed to 1/4 or leader length to 1/4 or just under a little bit more than 1/4 of what it actually is, the completed leader. You can see it. I think you can see it okay. Yeah. So I would have no problems doing a cast like this. And okay, let's now just cast it. You give it a couple of shakes, it comes loose, and now we have one fathom of cable, 2 or 1 and 3/4 of a fathom. Then we have a weight or lead. Another fathom of 2 millimeter 49 strand cable, already pretty tough. And then our 3 millimeter cable to our hook. So we have in total about 20 foot of cable from our main line to our hook. But different kinds of cable in different sizes, because this is the stuff the shark will actually be chewing, but it has all this other cable, go here, 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 that it has to, that can wrap around in and hit with its tail without you ever getting into trouble. That's the rig. And since I've already done it before now, I think actually the way you set this up, you ignore the bait. You ignore the bait for now. Ignore the bait. You take this swivel right here, run it through, clip this bait clip that ends our little swivel into our split ring that we've attached to the swivel that attaches to the lead. Now we can attach our bait to this bait clip here. Maybe this way. Oh, whatever. I actually don't think it would matter. And now we just take this clip that is on this swivel coming off the hook, leader length, and this clips to this split ring connecting our 2 top swivels. And again, give it a shake, it all comes loose. Oh, this time it actually didn't. Okay, but if it was actually pulled, yeah, then it definitely all comes loose. As soon as there's a fish on, 100%. But once you've cast this leader out, this style of rig, you want to give it a few shakes with the rod and wind it in a few yards, just to make sure your rig is all folded out, This is just a bit hard to do in my room. Okay, last time set up. You have your weight. Or you have to grab your main in the end with this clip. You hook it into this split ring attached to you by your weight. You could also just hook it into the eye of the swivel if you prefer, honestly. Wouldn't matter. Just keep this tight. Actually, we could also, let's see if this works. take this clip that's on our hook length, put it into this split ring. Yep, it works. And now we just hook or bait in. Done. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. Works like a charm. Okay, so sturgeon, careful. You take your clip that's on your end. This is how it looks at the end. You take this clip that's on this off-hanging swivel. You pull it through a running swivel, hook it into this split ring that goes to that is where our weight attaches. Slip it in. Done. Now from there our hook length goes up. It goes towards a hook. More. Of course, this is all goes way faster. I just want you to be able to see it. Here we have another bait clip attached. This bait clip goes to this split ring up here, attaching these two large swivels. One goes to the main line, the other to the leader. And this split ring in between is where this bait clip goes. Now you just have your hook and your bait hanging off. And now you just need to take this bait clip at the bottom, hook it over your hook, and you're done. Your setup is done. It releases like a charm. Again. Now I'll just do it fast without talking. Voila. Without talking much at least. Just to show you that it actually does not take that long to set up. Done. Okay. And even with this tiny 4-foot rod, I could cast this. Okay, this came loose, swinging it around for my rod. And that's kind of part of the game with bait clips, of course. Yeah, okay. Once you have one loose, whatever. I mean, there's a you can always make them harder to release, but then it's gonna be. That's honestly, that's not what you want. You want bait clips that release easy. Otherwise, they're not gonna release when they're supposed to. Okay. One more time. And then I think it's enough also for me. Good. Good. Clip on here. Now just this clip. Now we're Gucci. Just, yeah, complete. Yeah. Ready for a cast. Let's smash our screen in. But this is a 20-foot shark leader. And I could even manage to cast this with a 5-foot rod if I really wanted to, which is pretty wild. So you'll get the hang of it, sturgeon. It is. I've never actually used this leader because it's a new invention of myself too, but it'll work. It'll work. You'll get the hang of it. Shake. Yeah. Here we have our mainline end. This is not staged. Here we have our weight. Come on. Okay, the bait is stuck on my rock bag, which is of course not supposed to be there. But yeah, we have our weight, our semi-bite section, and now our final bite section. It all worked beautifully. Thank you very much. I'm still here. That's pretty dang awesome. Thanks. If you want sturgeon, if I can get to it, I'll just build some with mono or with cheap cable. I'll see if I can switch out some of the other rigs to be like that too. But yeah. Or I'll just buy some more of this cable and then I can make it full the same. Yeah. This is some special cable. I only wish I would have put some shrink tube on this one here. Or should I just do it now? Oh, wait. Yeah, I won't need this. I need new shrink tube anyway. I won't get new stuff. I won't need this size on my second trip, so. That'll make it a little bit nicer and easier on the setup still. And of course, any rig, you can't have a super duper simple rig that has all these qualities, unfortunately. I wish there was, but yeah. if you're not sure of that, this just makes it shrink you. This size makes it better or worse. This will be the ticket. That was okay. Yeah, that was fine. Okie dokie. I usually want 8 to 10 ounce spider weight so the hook can hang off that while casting. Yeah, you won't need that. Actually, you have, I've already created bait clips for you, so any sinker will work. The whole idea is to have the sinker separated from the rest of your rig. But yeah. Yeah, what you want to do is you want to hook this bait clip that's on the very end towards your main line, normally to your sinker. You have this section here, a double up line. Then on this swivel that goes off our hook, we have another bait clip that goes into this split ring here. And now our rig is basically done. Our hook is still free, but that's what we have our bait clip for. Down here. You just put this over your bait clip. Crap. Yeah, trying to explain shit while doing it doesn't really work. Anyway. Okay, man. Bait clips release easy. And by the way, if the bait clips release too easy, sturgeon, just take some pliers and bend them in. But yeah. So I'll show you what I mean. You know, here. This bait clip. Of course, you can take some pliers and bend them in further. I just have left them like half open, so they actually release properly. But if you find they release fine while fishing, but they're annoying while rigging, you can absolutely. This one honestly looks like it might be a bit too open. And of course, you can bend them close. You can also open them up more if you want that. By the way, both work. You can do both. If you think they need to grab a bit better, you bend them in. If not, you bend them out. It's stainless steel in a gauge that you won't break while casting, but it's light enough that you can break. You can still bend it with a good pair of pliers. And it's not hardened steel that's gonna break after bending it once or twice. You can bend it a few times before you'll have any issues. So yeah. That is I think an important thing to mention. That with any of these bait clips, the angle is not set in stone. The angle isn't set in stone. Anyway, I'll remove this from my leader now, my rod, I should say. Let's get this weight off. There's a bunch of ways you could rig these, but the basic design, yeah. That is something truly original, by the way. My love to you, girl. Which you mean Lila or you mean my girl? Jemmy. Lila was just taking a nap, but she's kind of woken up. Like when I say my girl, I mean my girl or my woman, not my cat. Anyway. I just took this split ring over the hook. I have to undo this when it gets to you, but yeah. Let's get this crap wrapped up. Can't just say good or say your girl and Lila, my love to your girl. Look, okay, your girlfriend. Okay. Oh yeah, my battery isn't good. I will say that. If if I remember, I will tell her she said that. I mean, you don't really know each other, but yeah. Cheers. So this is the whole wrapped up rig. Let's bag it up. Let's bag it up and be done with it. We still have 5% battery, so we'll be fine. But I also need to get stopped. And now I've got all my shark rigs ready. Okay. Shark. This rig is. And yeah, if this was mono, just the mono itself would be as big as this rig. This cable is heavier, obviously, but it's not as. You don't have to go as thick, because, 300-pound cable, no shark will fray through it. They might bite through it, but they'll bite through mono a lot easier than that, so. Yeah. Anyway, here is our triple pulley rig. Let's demonstrate this the same way too. Why not? This is a much simpler design. It's still fancy enough, but also, so from your rig, it looks like this. In the water, it'll sit very differently, actually, than the other rig. But anyway, How exactly was this done? Oh yeah. Oh. Oh yeah, that's how it's done. Never mind. Okay. You have your swivel from your line. You have your hook. You hook it into your leader clip. There on the swivel from the leader clip, you've got your, or actually, yeah, we need to first hook up the other thing. Okay. We have this hook that gets connected just in here with our swivel. Not 100% sure on that design yet, but we can redo it. And that just gets hooked into, then you always hook your hook on last, is what I've already learned. Okay, done. Done. Now this is 3 times the length when it's fully extended. Oh, okay. My knot came loose. I mean, but the clip still released, so this would have worked. It would have worked. Slightly higher tangle potential on this rig, but it's minimal. It's minimal. And I've already demonstrated how this one works. So we'll back this one up too. Let's get rid of our weight. Actually, to make it a bit fancier and maybe less likely to tangle, we'll add a second swivel with a split ring onto this one as well. Then you can attach the hook into the swivel, and it's not the same line this runs through. That'll make it a bit nicer and a bit less likely to give you any issues. It's not going to give you any issues either way, but done. So this is how you want to hook it up. Now you can hook your bait on. Voila. This does sit nicer. Okay, without the weight from the weight, this doesn't really work properly, but it will work. In reality, it'll work just fine. Once you have a weight attached, and then one shake and it comes loose. Okay, good. Let's back this sucker up. Because I need to call it. I need to call it a day. Sometime soon. Okay, we have our hook section. Which is our 19th strand, 2mm cable. Now we have our rubbing section, which is galvanized 1.5mm cable. Let's actually not wrap this up. Let's just get it straight into a bag. Okay. Sturgeon, do you want me to try to function to make more readers like one of those two options? Or for now you'll just go with the rest as regular? You want to leave the rest unchanged. Anyway, here are my two special leaders. This is definitely a lot lighter. Okay, but this also uses a heavy cable for the bite section and stuff. Makes sense. But anyway, all right. Shark leaders all done. Good. So till my trip, I won't worry about shark leaders anymore. And should I put these up here? Yeah. Out of sight, out of mind. And Jamie, you've been saying you need to go for hours. I know, right? Lila? I'm sure Jamie, I know you're sleepy, but I know Jamie wants to see you again. Mm. Well, I don't really need to go, you know? But I probably should. I don't really have any deadlines. They say cats don't like their bellies scratched. Look at this. Are those just the tits I'm feeling? Yeah, okay. Or no, that's some dirt in your fur. Okay. I was thinking that's bit many teats. Doop, 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 doop. Okay. Enough, sweetie? Oh, hi, Rosie. Haven't seen you in a while. I'm just about to end the live. Okay, Lila. You go, you go. Yeah. Yeah, she's lying next to some shark leaders and rigging stuff. Totally on face. Pray or hope. What's okay? My cat loves belly rubs too. Yeah. Lila. Hmm? What you looking at me for? Anyway, our shark leaders are done. Here's another shark leader that it's just a standard pulling rig. You don't have to take it sturgeon, don't worry. But yeah. Let me know if you want all your rigs to be the fancy kind or not. But anyway. I'll make a drawing and where you can see how the rigs will sit in the water, which is very different because I don't know if it properly showed, and I don't have a room big enough to show it with an actual life-size shark rig. So anyway, I'll hit you up, send you pictures, and cheers. Peace out. Huh, nice. Rosie Gemini just said she'll subscribe to you. So yeah, peace out.